Ms. Dickerson, thank you for sitting down with us today.
Glad to be here.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I was born in Albany, Georgia. I came to South Carolina when I married my husband because he's from here. I am a teacher. I went to Albany State University, got a master's from the University of South Carolina. And so I love South Carolina, and we've been in, and I have two kids, and Candace and Ramon. And since I was here I lived in Columbia for about 4 years, and then my husband was transferred to Greenville, so I've lived in Greenville too. And then we came back to Columbia, and I started teaching in Lexington's Richland School District 5. They kind of changed the name around. And I was teaching there when I discovered that I was having kidney issues. I just got up one morning, got out of the bed, my feet were tender, and I said, this is unusual. And my kids were small then. And I said, I need to have this checked out. And I went to the doctor, and I took all kind of tests because I did not have diabetes, did not have high blood pressure, did not have any of those. And after I went to the doctor, and they did a whole lot of testing, and then they realized that I was going through kidney failure. And they couldn't really pinpoint exactly when it started because they say what they think happened was the strep virus had attacked my kidneys, and during the slow process, it started to scar them. And eventually, it got to the point where I lost them. You know, they were not performing like they were supposed to perform. And then I had to go on dialysis. And I was very distraught because I was saying, how did this happen to me? I've always been the type of person that tried to eat right, tried to exercise, tried to do everything, you know, as far as health is concerned, to stay healthy. And I just was upset, but then I thought about it and I said, well, this could happen to anyone, not just me. I was really a strong religious person too. Grew up in the church, been in the church my whole life, ever since as long as I've been able to remember, I've been in the church. And God is always with me. He always walks with me, and that's the way I kind of felt that he would protect me and everything. But when something happens like this in your life, you know, you have to think about it as if, you know, it happened to me and it was God's will for me to go through what I had to go through. And so what happened is when they really found out that it was the strep virus that had scarred my kidneys, and then I had to get on dialysis. And then I was on peritoneal dialysis, and that's the dialysis that you do at home. And you do it yourself, and you kind of, you know, they give you a machine, and you hook yourself up, and there are so many hours a night that you have to stay on it. When I first got on it, they leave liquid in your stomach during the day, and you won't have to stay on it not long at night, but my stomach was kind of small, so I had to stay on. They had to take the liquid out, and I had to stay on it for quite a bit of hours more than I would normally have to stay on it for it to cleanse my body. And so, but I still taught because I was teaching that time. Did not stop teaching, not one time. I worked the whole time, and I think that's what helped to keep me sane because it was trying, going through that every night, and I did that for 3 years and a half. And I was very positive for the first 3 years, and I was very upbeat. People did not even know that I was on dialysis that I taught with, because the last couple of years before I got my transplant, I was with the State Department of Education as a teacher specialist. And I went to schools, you know, helping schools, teachers at other schools, with their scores. And so what happened is when I went to get my kidney, they called me. They didn't even know I was on dialysis. They said, we didn't even know she was ill because I kept going, never stopped. And when they called me, I got April 26, 2004, and they called me, and that was the first call that I got. I was not, sometimes people would get calls and they would go, and then they would have to come back because something would be wrong or there would be an issue or whatever. That was the first call I got, and I was almost ready to give up after 3 years. I said, oh my goodness, it's been 3 years and I don't have an organ yet. And then that April it came, and I was just floored. My family was floored. And before I got my organ, I did have teachers and friends and family to go to be tested to be a live donor, but that did not work out. And so because they weren't able to donate. So I did get my organ from MUSC. I went there, and it was a little, all I know, I haven't, the family has not contacted me yet, and I'm still praying, and I sent letters, and I have a letter now that I need to send again. I know with a child because she was 11 years old. Wow. And I just hope and pray that I will be able to one day to meet them, because they gave me the gift of life, and it was a miracle for me because my life was so much better, and I was able to live out my life normally. And to some people that do not get organs do not survive. So I'm a survivor through the miracle process of getting an organ from a family that thought that it would be okay to donate their child's organ, because some people just don't donate organs for one reason or another. It's a religious, some people have religious myths about donating organs, and some people just don't want to do it because they think, if they're ill and they go to the hospital, they might not work on them like they should, so they will survive, and they might they might not give them a chance for survival, and because they want to get the organ. And that's not true. And I volunteer for Donate Life, and I do tell them, I was given the gift of life, and it was because a family felt that they could help someone by donating their child's organ. And I try to get them to understand that. But some, especially the older generation, when it comes to giving organs, it's just something they're set in of not doing it, and they do not really listen like you would think they would, like some of the younger people listen. And a lot of people do listen. A lot of people sign up when we are out volunteering. They do sign up to become organ donors. But I always say, when you see me with two angels. And I always carried the angel that God sent me to get me through what I had to go through. And that angel is sitting here. And then I have another angel over here, the little girl who donated me the organ. She's always sitting there. She's always with me everywhere I go. So I'm well protected as I go through life, So I really, I wish one day that that's my biggest wish, that I could meet the donor family of the little girl that gave me the kidney.
Thank you for sitting down and sharing your story with us.